The cameras are gone. The shine of TLC's hit show Sister Wives has dimmed for the very last time. And now, the courtroom is where the drama plays out. Kody Brown, formerly the proud face of a polygamous empire, doesn't battle for love or fame or family anymore. He battles for freedom against charges that threaten to take down everything. But what if the truth is darker than anything fans ever saw on TV? What if the show's cancellation wasn't about ratings, but about a secret $38 million fraud scandal that finally came crashing down? Stay with me, because tonight, we're diving into the shocking fictional trial that shattered the Sister Wives world, exposing betrayals, hidden deals, and family secrets no one was ever meant to see. Before we begin, let me ask you in the comments, did Kody Brown orchestrate this? Was he a mastermind, or was he just a pawn in someone else's game? The courtroom doors swing open, ringing out across the gleaming marble floor. Cameras are prohibited, but the whispers of 1,000 hidden fans somehow fill the air. Today is not any ordinary day in a lawyer's calendar. It is the day the Brown family meets the tempest that has long been simmering in the pot. Kody Brown, former unyielding patriarch of the Sister Wives dynasty, enters with deliberate footsteps. His back is straight, nearly rebellious, but his eyes give away the tempest racking his soul. The family whose hearts America captured is not to be found on TV anymore. They are here, under the harsh fluorescent lighting, facing allegations that risk bringing down all that they have achieved. The judge walks in, stern and authoritative, calling the court to order. The atmosphere is charged with tension, anticipation, and fear. Each breath is labored, as if the room itself is aware of the seriousness of what is about to happen. Reporters from the major networks sit behind the barriers, pens held high over notepads, cameras clicking silently. This is not a television drama. This is real life. And for the Browns, nothing is more at stake. Kody sits at the center, surrounded by his wives. Robyn's hand shakes minutely as she holds onto a folder jammed with papers. Meri, as silent as ever, looks down at the shining floor, her thoughts racing through years of hidden anguish that now hang in the balance, ready to burst publicly. Christine's eyes blaze with defiance. She has rehearsed this moment, prepared to defend herself while divulging unwelcome truths. Janelle sits with controlled calm, the serenity in the center of a brewing hurricane, but the white-knuckled grip on her handbag betrays the tension she keeps so well concealed. The cameras have departed, but judgment of the country remains a palpable presence, weighing like an axe across every shoulder. The prosecution stands, their presence demanding attention. The lead attorney's voice booms through the courtroom. Ladies and gentlemen, today the truth is revealed. The $38 million fraud that has been hidden behind veil after veil of secrecy and family allegiance will finally be exposed. A silence falls. Even Kody's jaw clenches. The figures are enough to make anyone's heart pound, but it is the human factor, the deception, the betrayal, tightly gripping the room. You won't believe what secrets are about to be revealed in this room. Stay close because any word might alter everything. The first witness is summoned. A one-time accountant for the Browns appears, pushing glasses up and clearing a throat. Files are spread out on the table, spreadsheets with transactions that look benign on the surface, but patterns within them which indicate manipulation, secret accounts, and transfers which no one outside the inner circle was intended to notice. Every page turned is a stab at the core of the Brown heritage. Kody sits forward, palms together, fingers contracting with each bombshell. Robyn bites her lip, fighting to keep from sobbing. The air in the room heats up, tension thick enough to break at any second. Memories of better times creep into the viewer's mind, a background narrative on how the Browns came to be recognized by all. Fans recall warm family barbecue gatherings, tearful confessions, the drama ever present, but it's not the same. It's intimate. Betrayal is no longer a television plotline. It is a question of legality, of trust broken within one of the most publicized families in America. Christine moves restlessly, considering her own past words, and whether they can be manipulated or used against her. Every one of the wives bears a weight, a secret she has kept, but the courtroom now requires openness they might not be prepared for. Every look, every whisper in this courtroom conceals a tale you've never heard before. Don't turn away. The judge declares a short recess. The family members fan out, migrating into side rooms in which muffled discussions ripple like electric sparks. Kody is seated by himself in the corner of a quiet alcove, gazing at the highly polished floor. His mind spins. What if this trial doesn't conclude in a straightforward decision? What if the accusation of $38 million is merely the tip of an iceberg? Robyn comes up to him silently, her voice gentle but insistent. Kody, we must deal with this together. But are we prepared for what is next? He shakes his head slowly, swallowing hard, aware that this is only the first step, not the final one. The courtroom is back in session. The mood becomes serious instantly as the prosecution starts to bring forth evidence more theatrically. Emails, bank records, and secret contracts are exposed, each one depicting financial shenanigans that appear more and more difficult to justify. The wives give each other knowing glances, shock, betrayal, fear, in a few instances, even quiet satisfaction. Kody's voice, typically firm and authoritative, quavers a bit as he denies the authenticity of some of the papers, but the evidence piles high, leaving denials sounding weaker by the minute. Outside, news media are already guessing at what it all means. Social media erupts with fans stunned by the discoveries. Even fans who once rooted for Kody and his polygamous family now mutter doubts of trustworthiness, honesty, and dishonesty. Public scrutiny has turned from hero worship to criticism, blowing every move, every stumble, every hesitation in court into exaggerated proportion. And inside, the Brown family bears the brunt of this observation, heavy, unyielding, and merciless. What comes next might forever alter the Browns' lives, and it's all happening right here, right now. With the session winding down, a new witness enters, one whose testimony is poised to upend everything. The door opens, the clerk calls out the name, and the room falls silent. Even Kody bristles, eyes wide as recognition dawns on his face. This individual possesses facts that can reframe the entire story, revealing alliances, betrayals, and secrets the public never had any idea about. The suspense is practically suffocating. Each heartbeat sounds louder than the previous one. The gavel is slammed by the judge. "We will reconvene tomorrow at 9 a.m., he announces, but the room is still electric, the tension crackling through the air. Families step out. Reporters rush to analyze every scrap of information, and the Brown family slips away into their respective privacy, each of them thinking about what has been disclosed and what is yet to be revealed. The witness stands in wait just outside the courtroom door, papers folded in her hand, poised to enter and break down the final walls of secrecy. Kody breathes slowly, aware that tomorrow can be the day the tide turns, or everything goes wrong. The courtroom is filled with quiet expectation. The atmosphere is thick, nearly claustrophobic, weighted with the shared anticipation of each individual within. Kody Brown sits rigidly in the middle of the room, looking about at the faces he has come to know over the years. Robyn's hands are pressed firmly together in front of her, white-knuckled, but her eyes firm, filled with fear and determination all at once. Meri sits still, the same blank mask she has honed over the years, but the slight quiver in her fingers gives away the turmoil churning within her. Christine leans forward, eyes narrowed, each muscle knotted, bracing for the battle she is certain to face. Janelle sits poised, detached, but her eyes flick wildly, weighing, taking in every detail. The prosecution stands, their vitality now keen and tense. The day's first witnesses appear on the stand, ex-financial advisors, turned whistleblowing friends, and even some of the former employees who say they saw Kody and his inner circle moving large amounts of money behind closed doors. Each testimony adds layer upon layer of tension, building a case that seems almost impossible to refute. The finances, records, and bank wires are staggering in their magnitude, but it is the people that leave the room stunned. Every charge appears to whisper some secret transgression, cutting through the veneer of family harmony that the Browns have so long held out to the world. You won't believe who is next up on the stand. This testimony has the potential to destroy everything Kody believes he can manipulate. The courtroom doors swing open, and a hush falls as the next witness is called. It's someone unexpected. An insider who was once closest to the family, someone who knows secrets that could change everything. Robyn's hand shakes as she clutches her notes. Christine's lips press into a thin line, anticipating the storm. Meri's eyes dart nervously toward Kody, searching for any hint of reassurance that she knows won't come. The witness clears their throat, is helped with the microphone and starts speaking, their voice steady but resolute. I have witnessed transfers, accounts, financial maneuvering that you all didn't know about. The witness starts. Millions of dollars moved in the shadows, money that could have been the family's collective assets, now kept secret. And I have evidence. The words linger like a dense fog. Kody's jaw clenches. He leans forward, trying to hide the quiver in his voice, firing pointed questions, trying to raise doubt. But the witness's documents, charts, and emails are clear, allowing little wiggle room for doubt. Robyn bites her lip, a tear dangling in the air, but she holds it back. Meri's hands tremble in her lap as she thinks about the reality behind the numbers, the trust, the loyalty, and the years of her own silence now suddenly under scrutiny. Every revelation is more shocking than the last. Can Kody survive the fallout of these secrets? Christine stands suddenly, her voice cutting through the thick tension like a knife. These aren't just numbers. This is betrayal. This is an intentional effort to manipulate and control the lives of all involved. Her words ring out across the courtroom. The prosecution nods in approval, knowing the momentum is building further in their direction. Janelle leans forward, prepared to intervene if needed, but observes carefully, knowing that every action, every statement, might be beneficial or detrimental to the case. Kody senses the walls closing in. His empire, constructed with years of media exposure, family name branding, and meticulous public relations, now looks tenuous and fragile. The very individuals he has trusted most are present here, either mutely observing or pivotal witnesses whose testimony may bring everything crashing down. Robyn's voice trembles slightly as she finally addresses the court. We trusted each other, to be honest, and it feels like that trust has been weaponized. Her words cut through the room, weighing heavy and uncooked, earning sympathetic nods from some jurors, but cautious, skeptical stares from others. The next shocker is about to fall. Buckle up, because even Kody didn't anticipate this. The witness goes on, with emails that not only implicate financial manipulation but backroom communication between family members. Some of the emails allude to coalition, clandestine deals, and even threats exchanged in secret. The courtroom gasps at a few of the details. A few reporters write furious. The room is charged with shock, disbelief, and growing tension. Kody shifts uncomfortably in his seat, sweat glistening on his forehead, as the words pierce deeper into his carefully constructed narrative. Meri's expression remains unreadable, but inside, memories flash the countless times she trusted Kody to make the right choice. The moments she stayed silent to protect the family's image, the sacrifices she made, all now thrown into a courtroom battle that seems almost surreal. Robyn's tears at last fall, unspoken, as she grapples with the fact that the one person she trusted most was not necessarily honest. Christine's jaw clenches with a combination of anger and vindication, knowing that her patience, her meticulous planning is now coming home to roost. Janelle sits crossed-armed, her placid facade covering the turmoil beneath as she observes the courtroom theatrics. Suddenly, the witness drops the most shocking revelation yet. There was a secret account. A $38 million account, controlled by Kody Brown, unknown to most of the family. Transactions were made, properties purchased, money moved, all without disclosure. The room falls silent, even the air feels heavier. Kody's hands clench, knuckles white, his mind racing to form a defense. Robyn gasps softly. Meri's lips press tightly together. Christine exhales sharply, a mixture of satisfaction and concern. Janelle leans forward, her eyes narrowed, attempting to gauge how this will change the tide in the courtroom. The prosecution seizes on the discovery, offering a clear chart of how money moved, which accounts were involved, and how when. It is meticulous, relentless, and nearly cinematic in its accuracy. The testimony of the witnesses goes on, piling detail upon detail, with little room for skepticism. The Browns lock eyes, sending a message louder than words. Shock, betrayal, fear, and the cold hard truth that nothing will ever be the same. What would you do if someone you trusted most was keeping a $38 million secret from? The Browns soon are going to face that very dilemma. The tension comes to a boil. Kody is summoned to answer, standing in the witness box, braving the probing eyes of the court and the tacit judgment of the audience outside. His voice is calm, but the quake is audible. I didn't know how this would look. I never planned. It's complicated, he replies, looking at Robyn, then Meri, then Christine, attempting to read their responses. The courtroom is silent, all eyes on him, all minds working to figure out the reality behind his words. Just as the courtroom starts to settle into charged expectation, a phone buzzes in the back. It's quiet but unmistakable. The judge scowls. Everyone's eyes follow the phone. The witness smiles faintly, as if the timing of the disruption was carefully planned. It is a reminder. Nothing is normal in this courtroom. Every second could tilt the balance. Every discovery could tip the scales that much farther toward chaos. The session of the day is cut off. The Browns exit the courtroom, their faces drawn and white. In hushed tones behind closed doors, whispers of betrayal and strategy sound through the corridor. They are aware that tomorrow will reveal even more secrets that will ruin reputation, alliances, and lives. The $38 million secret looms over them like a dark cloud, reminding them that nothing in this family or this trial will ever be uncomplicated again. Tomorrow the witness will finally disclose the names of the people behind the financial manipulation. The Browns steal themselves. Who will be outed? And how will the family weather the storm brewing? The courtroom lights are colder today, harder somehow, that reflect off the varnished wooden benches and reverberate in the silence that clutches the room. Kody Brown enters, the burden of last night's revelations weighing on him like a dark cloud. His back is squared, but the shake in his hands betrays his tension. Robyn sits next to him, eyes puffy from tears. She struggled to keep at bay. And yet there is a resolute look in her eyes, a determination to confront the truth however hurtful. Meri rests back, attempting to cover the pounding heartbeat and the surges of fear welling up within her. Christine, always calm, sits with her arms folded, a glimmer of contentment concealed behind her carefully calculated face. Janelle is calm on the surface, but watches like a hawk with her eyes in constant motion, monitoring every movement, every response. The judge demands order in the court. The atmosphere is charged, heavy with expectation. Each reporter, each juror, each witness in the room senses it, the suspense which heralds a storm to break. The stakes are higher today. The first witness takes the stand, a former family insider, whose testimony might divert the course of the case entirely. They do not just bring documents, but a history, an account of secrets, and recollections of choices made behind dark rooms. The witness tells, their voice steady, near clinical, but each sentence strikes home like a sledgehammer. I have records indicating Kody Brown transferred millions of dollars without transparency to his family. Money was stashed in accounts abroad. Homes were bought through shell corporations, and large amounts were redirected under false names. A silence drops. Kody swallows hard, sweat appearing at the temples. Robyn whispers in shock. Meri's fists clench in her lap, nails biting into the flesh of her palms. Christine's jaw clenches as she leans forward, eyes slitting, the tension building like a spring waiting to release. If yesterday's bombshells were appalling, wait until what's coming next. What follows will leave you speechless. The witness goes on, producing a series of emails, agreements, and bank reports that document the flow of an astonishing $38 million. Each one is a knife stuck in the heart of Kody's empire. The courtroom gasps, whispers, even, over the sound of murmurs. Kody attempts to interrupt, his tone level but tense. These are out of context. I can explain. But the witness is ready. Context does not change the fact that these transactions were hidden, undisclosed to the family, and orchestrated without transparency. They say firmly, their gaze unwavering. Robyn's tears fall silently as she listened, the reality sinking in that the man she trusted may have deliberately kept these secrets. Meri's eyes well up with a mixture of disbelief and resignation. Christine's expression hardens, a mixture of anger and vindication. Janelle stays calm, but the tension in her jaw gives away how serious what she knows next will be. The revelations that emerge here are not merely figures. These are betrayals that pierce deeply, and the Browns are about to be hit with them square on. The next bombshell comes like a thunderbolt. The witness scans through a folder of emails, pointing out messages from Kody to some of his business partners. The tone is breezy, nearly sarcastic, but the message is condemnatory. Allusions to secret accounts, cryptic messages, and active misdirection permeate the text. The prosecution leans in, eyes fixed intently, allowing the papers to shout louder than words. Each of the Brown family members squirms beneath the pressure. Kody's face becomes taut. His hands shake slightly as he struggles to keep a grip. Robyn hides her face in her hands, the betrayal too overwhelming to handle. Meri sits numb, mind racing through years of trust and obedience. Christine exhales sharply, relishing in the confirmation of what she knew. Janelle sits quietly measuring the damage, the gears turning in her head about the alliances being created within this courtroom. Then the most explosive evidence yet. The witness discloses that some of the secret transactions were more than economic. They included real estate, high-end jewelry, and investments kept from the wives. The courtroom gasps a second time. The sheer brazenness, the scope of secrecy, is simply unimaginable. Kody slumps back, shutting his eyes for a moment, a momentary look of defeat crossing his face. Robyn's voice shakes as she finally speaks out loud in court, the words piercing the tension. I trusted all of us. And this feels like betrayal. You can sense the tension building in the courtroom. Each secret that is uncovered drives the Browns closer to a breaking. Meri finally gets up, her voice quiet but fierce, speaking to Kody himself. All these years, the decisions, the silence, the lies, did anything matter? Or were we just pawns in a... Her words linger in the air, bitter and unforgiving. Kody's eyes flit to her, seeking understanding, seeking some spark of forgiveness. But the room is still electric with disbelief and tension. Christine stands up too, her words cutting through the heavy atmosphere. This isn't all about money. This is about control, manipulation, and lies. And now we know the truth, whether you can or will admit it or not. The witness releases the day's final bombshell. Documents connecting Kody to an offshore account. Funds movements coinciding with times of family turmoil. Clever investments kept from the public and the private. The courtroom breaks into a buzz of murmur. The scope of what has been exposed is breathtaking. Robyn slumps over in her chair. Christine is stiff, and Meri sits rigid, eyes locked on the table as if numbers alone could reconstruct the past. Janelle at last leans forward, eyes narrowing, aware that loyalties within the family might be changing at warp speed. The $38 million secret is more than money. It's a web of heartbreak, betrayal, and manipulation, and it's only just now coming undone. The prosecution leans back, allowing the strain to settle like dust following an explosion. Kody is summoned to the witness box, the light now squarely on him. All eyes in the room are trained on him as he slowly gets up, his tone measured but with a note of desperation. I never meant to hurt anyone. I believed I was defending the family, the show, the legacy. His words break down, under the burden of proof piled against. Robyn is crying, barely managing to keep it together. Meri's eyes are frozen, hard and unflinched. Christine's jaw clenched, anger and hard pleasure mix. Janelle sits silent, weighing, aware that each sentence might turn the balance. As the sun sets, the atmosphere does not relax. It becomes more oppressive. Gossip of collusion, betrayals, and secret revelations spreads like a caustic in the courtroom. Kody takes a breath, a momentary glance towards each of his wives, aware that the next hearing will see even more being revealed. Secrets, confrontations, and the emotional damage that no one in the family is really ready for. Tomorrow the witness guarantees to name names of those behind the biggest and most astonishing financial individuals in the family itself. Kody glances around the room, aware that loyalty is tenuous, trust is broken, and the tempest that started months earlier is merely hitting its climax. Who is next to be exposed, and how will the family endure the reality that will soon come tumbling down? The room seems more cramped today, as though the walls themselves are closing in. Kody Brown walks in with deliberate step, yet his expression shows the strength. The previous sessions have removed the facade of control. Robyn sits next, her eyes red and swollen, gripping a folder loaded with notes that she has hardly dared look at. Meri, generally quiet and reserved, sits forward slightly, hands clasped, knuckles white, attempting to steel herself for what is coming. Christine's eyes are narrowed, her stance tight, emanating anger and resolve. Janelle simply sits, though her eyes flash with calculation, following every gesture, every response. The judge brings the court to order. Today threatens to be intense, the day when long-hidden truths fight their way to the forefront. The prosecution stir, their vigor more potent than ever. Their first witness of the day is one who has been quiet until now, a former insider with familiarity with the Brown family's finances and personal business. Their voice, steady but authoritative, fills the air. I am here to reveal the truth that has been concealed from the public, and from those closest to Kody Brown. The $38 million is the start. Prepare yourself.
The secrets that have been uncovered today will surprise even the most dedicated wives. The witness lays out a series of documents carefully arranged. Each page lays bare the hidden manipulation, transfers between accounts, covert investments, and strategic acquisitions that none of the wives were aware of. The scale is staggering. Kody's hands tremble slightly as he reviews the evidence. Robyn exhales sharply, a mixture of disbelief and anguish washing. Meri's eyes widen, the reality of years of hidden actions finally settling. Christine leans forward, her eyes flashing with a combination of vindication. Janelle keeps cool, but her thoughts swirl, calculating the implications for both family and trial. The prosecution moves aside, and the witness can speak open. They recount meetings, covert talks, and unannounced ends that create a pattern of willful financial manipulation intended to control, manipulate, and isolate. Kody sits, jaw clenched, his eyes reflecting the weight of each accusation and the increasing heavy burden of discovery. Robyn's hands shake as she grips her folder, tears beginning to well up. Meri looks distant, but within her a maelstrom, a blend of betrayal, shock, and pain. Christine adjusts, her face the slightest of a smirk, as her suspicions find confirmation. Every revelation digs. These aren't just financial, they're betrayals that strike at the heart of family trust. The courtroom holds its collective breath as the first confront. Christine stands, voice sharp and unwavering, addressing Kody directly. This isn't about numbers anymore. This is about lies, deception, and manipulation. And you've betrayed us all. Kody swallows, trying to form a response, but the words stick in his throat. Robyn's voice is shaking as I did believe in us. I believed in the family. And now, it seems like everything was constructed on lies.
Meri breaks her silence, her voice low but frantic, piercing the tension. All these years we trusted you. Every word, every choice, every vow we trusted you. And now, we discover the truth in a courtroom? How could you do this to us? Her voice trembles, but it's loaded with a lifetime of unexpressed feeling. The room crackles, the air vibrating with unbridled emotion. All eyes are on Kody, waiting for an answer, waiting to see how he'll ride the tempest he helped brew. Emotional stakes have never been higher. Every word in this courtroom could seal the Browns' fates forever. The witness next discloses another bombshell, a chain of emails implicating Kody in not only fiscal secrecy, but planned actions to control family affiliation, sowing discord and animosity for personal agenda. Robyn's face goes white, her hands grasping the lap tightly. Meri stiffens rigidly, each muscle coiled, her mind racing. Christine's eyes blaze, anger and vindication blended together. Janelle hunches forward, her placid demeanor cracking, realizing that the fractures in the family are more profound than anyone could have imagined. Cross-examinations start. The prosecution questions Kody carefully, picking apart what he has said before, and revealing inconsistencies. His voice, normally firm and unruffled, shakes. Every denial is countered with a counterpoint, every explanation challenged with fact. Robyn hunches forward, whispering curses under her breath, trying to remain calm. Meri's gaze never leaves Kody, a mixture of pain and accusation simmering beneath the surface. Christine maintains a cold, calculating stare, ready to capitalize on any slip. Janelle watches carefully, silently evaluating each word, each gesture. The tension is unbearable. The courtroom is a powder keg, and the next revelation could ignite it completely. As the session continues, the witness brings out a stack of papers that tie some of the financial moves directly to choices that affected the wives in a personal way: secretly incurred expenses, unauthorized investments, and secret property purchases. The courtroom murmurs in response. Shouts of amazement spread through the gallery. Kody fidgets uncomfortably, the first glimmers of panic crossing his features. Robyn's voice breaks as she finally utters the words, "I can't believe you kept this from us." After everything. Meri's lips press tightly together, her eyes misting, holding back words she may never fully express. Christine's jaw tightens further, and Janelle leans back, absorbing the magnitude of the disclosures. The final moments of the session escalate to an emotional crescendo. Christine rises, her voice commanding, "These actions weren't mistakes, they were deliberate. And now we have to deal with the fallout together, as a family, whether we want to or not." Kody rises, attempting to keep his cool, but the tension is apparent. Robyn rests her forehead against her hands, mouthing softly, nearly to herself, "How did it come to this?" Meri's eyes narrow, unspoken recriminations weighing heavily in the air. Janelle watches, calculating, anticipating the fallout that is headed their way. The family teeters on the brink of disaster. Each new disclosure slices deeper, and the actual repercussions have yet to start. The judge merely rings for recess, banging the gavel. The family slowly comes to their feet, the burden of the session bearing down on each of them. In the hallway, whispers circulate among the staff and observers. Everyone realizes the storm is anything but finished. Behind the closed doors, the Browns confront one another, feelings raw and unbridled. Kody takes a deep breath, aware that the next session will drive the family further into confrontations, choices, and realities that cannot be reconciled. The witness has vowed that tomorrow even more shocking revelations will come to light: alliances broken, money-making scams exposed, and family allegiances strained to a point never before imagined. Kody looks at his wives, knowing that nothing will ever be the same, and the tempest they are enduring is only intensifying. Who will hold firm, and who will crack under pressure? The sun in the morning pours in through the tall courthouse windows, but it accomplishes little in illuminating the mood within. Kody Brown comes in first, his tread heavy, shoulders slumped as if weighed down by the burden of previous sessions. Robyn follows, attempting to regain her composure, eyes puffy from nights of insomnia, brought about by anxiety and introspection. Meri comes quietly in, face carefully bland, but all the tiny twitches of her fingers give away the nervousness she carries. Christine comes in with brisk, decisive steps, her presence authoritative and daunting, eyes snapping as she looks round the room. Janelle comes last, composed but watchful, each movement measuring as she sweeps the throng of reporters and spectators. The courtroom today is different, nearly theatrical. Cameras are excluded, but the tension is tangible. Reporters linger outside, clamoring for information. Social media is already abuzz with rumors, fans analyzing each step, each word from the past days. The Browns know it all. The world is watching them, judging silently, waiting to hear the next news. The judge brings the court to order. Kody stands up slightly, squaring his shoulders, attempting to cover the discomfort that is now impossible to conceal. The prosecutor is prompt. Today's first witness is one of the family's former PR directors, a person who says she is familiar not only with money matters, but with coaxed-on public facades and deceptions that serve to keep everything under wraps. Their tone is even, near clinical, but the words fall like bombs. The public image of the family was carefully managed to cover up financial differences and internal conflicts. Millions were hidden away, and the family was told to keep up appearances for both TV and public opinion. You won't believe how far the Browns went to keep the truth under wraps. Stay tuned because the next bombshells are even more explosive. The courtroom reacts audibly. Kody's face tightens. He shifts uncomfortably in his seat. Robyn's hands clench, her nails digging into her palms. Meri's lips press tightly together as she listens, her mind racing. Christine leans forward slightly, a glimmer of vindication in her eyes, while Janelle observes silently, her expression composed, calculating the impact of these words on both the courtroom and the family. The witness starts revealing emails, memos, and messages, indicating how the family's public declarations were well practiced to deceive followers and conceal financial transactions. Some words were practiced, some incidents staged. Even the wives' own affirmations to the world, intended to show peace, were occasionally coached by Kody. The courtroom whispers. Kody shifts once more, looking over at Robyn, as if seeking encouragement, but all he notices is concern and incredulity. Each disclosure of a secret raises new questions. How much of the history of the family was genuine, and how much was expertly constructed fraud? The air is suddenly charged with tension. An outside journalist is permitted to introduce off-the-record statements, lending credibility to the charges. The statements cite Kody as privately confessing to embezzling money, to manipulating affiliations, and to employing fear in order to keep family dynamics under his command. The witness slides a series of documents across the table. Each page is a layer peeled back, revealing not just financial manipulation but emotional manipulation as well. Robyn lets out a soft gasp. Meri's hands shake slightly, and Christine's jaw tightens as her suspicions are confirmed. Janelle leans forward, studying Kody carefully, trying to discern his next move. Kody is finally called to the stand again. His tone is calmer than yesterday, but tension seeps into each syllable. "I never meant to hurt anyone," he starts. "All that I did was to save the family, to save the show, to preserve stability." His gaze sweeps across the wives, willing a reaction. Robyn stays impassive, although a tear shines in her eye. Meri's expression is blank, but the tight line of her lips speaks volume. Christine's gaze pierces him, a mixture of skepticism and retribution. Janelle remains composed, but vigilant, ready for any slip that might reveal further truths. The courtroom isn't the only place the Browns are under pressure. The media storm outside is threatening to engulf them completely. As the day unfolds, news spreads beyond the courthouse. Headlines shout accusations, rumor, and treason. Social media forums burst with theories, fan indignation, and inflammatory arguments. The Brown family senses the public spotlight bearing down on them as intensely as the judge's hammer. Their personal suffering has become an attraction for millions to scrutinize, pick apart, and judge. Kody, the self-assured patriarch, now senses the suffocating dual nature of public and private judgment. Robyn sits in silence, weighing the fact that whatever the outcome in the courtroom, the world now perceives a very different image of their family. The next witness takes the tension to a whole new level. A former family friend with inside information on alliances and betrayals in the Browns. Their words imply that some family members may have conspired to cover their own backs, or take advantage of circumstances for personal benefit. The courtroom responds perceptibly. Kody's fingers jerk. Robyn's shoulders stiffen. Meri gulps hard, a sharp, bitter taste of shock and loss in her mouth. Christine's eyes blaze with a mixture of vindication and fury, and Janelle leans back, taking it all in, weighing the impact of the revelations on the final result. Cross-examinations become fiercer. Each word Kody utters is analyzed, questioned, and refuted with proof. The prosecution presses harder, revealing details about financial decisions and secret communications that place Kody at the center of deception. The tension becomes nearly unbearable, the emotional toll evident in every glance, every twitch, every subtle shift of body language. Robyn's composure falters. Meri's silence grows heavier with each word. Christine sits poised but alert. Janelle's eyes betray a flicker of concern despite her calm exterior. As the secrets are revealed, you can sense the tension building. How are the Browns going to make it through the scandal that's only just started? The day concludes with a dramatic bombshell from the prosecution papers and testimony indicating the cancellation of the show wasn't simply ratings or network matters. It was personally and financially linked to the scandals now exposed. The courtroom is audible in its reaction, some whispering, some gasping. Kody exhales sharply, realizing the enormity of the situation. Robyn buries her face in her hands. Meri's eyes narrow, processing the implication. Christine's lips curl into a faint, grim smile, while Janelle remains composed but watchful, absorbing the impact. Outside the courtroom, the media storm intensifies. Fans analyze each detail, arguing allegiances, suspecting motives, and theorizing about the personal and financial consequences for the family. The Browns, who once had fame and TV as a shield, are now open to public criticism as well as judicial condemnation. The anticipation is electric, the feeling of impending disruption inevitable. As the family leaves the courtroom, Kody looks at his wives, aware that tomorrow will bring out the names of who was behind the financial manipulation. Alliances will be broken, secrets will be revealed, and the extent of the betrayal will come crashing down. Who among the family has been manipulating these actions, and who will ride out the storm? The courthouse weighs more heavily today, as if the very walls were catching their breath. Kody Brown enters, shoulders braced, jaw clenched, eyes lined with fatigue. The tempest of previous sessions has left its residue, not just on him, but on all of them. Robyn sits with a folder on her knees, fingers tapping restless, eyes lost in thought, as she rehearses in silence the words that may never be voiced out loud. Meri reclines in her chair, the tranquil facade she habitually presents now cracked and brittle, threatening to shatter at any moment by a single word. Christine walks in with energetic determination, eyes fixed intently, the tension around her shoulders almost tangible. Janelle enters unobtrusively, tranquil of countenance, but her mind actively calculating every move, every word, every look. The judge brings the court into order, and the room is silent. Today promises to be an emotionally intense day. Testimony and battles that strike more deeply than money matters. The prosecutor summons its first witness, an old family friend and confidant. Their words are measured, but weighted with meaning when they say, I have observed the dynamics of this family for years. There have been betrayals, alignments, and choices made that weren't always in the best interest of all members. What you are about to hear transcends money. It's about trust, betrayal, and the emotional damage to the family you believed you knew. The witness presents the first batch of explosive revelation, private talks, secret deals, and instances where Kody is said to have manipulated circumstances to keep control over relationships and finances. Robyn breathes quietly, her hand clamped over her mouth. Meri's fingers tighten around her notebook, nails digging into paper as her heart races. Christine leans forward slightly, satisfaction flickering in her eyes, knowing that her instincts were correct. Janelle remains composed but alert, noting every nuance and subtle shift in reactions from the other family members. Kody is called to the stand. His voice is steadier than yesterday, but the strain is unmistakable. I didn't intend to hurt anybody. I thought I was protecting the family, keeping us together, he starts, eyes jumping to Robyn, then Meri, then Christine. Robyn's eyes freeze, hard, her feelings locked behind gritted teeth. Meri's face is impassive, her hands lying in her lap like tight springs, ready to lash out with words or questions that could break the tenuous peace. Christine's jaw clenches, her eyes bore into him, piercing and unrelenting. Janelle observes Kody's every step, silently weighing, biding her time for the precise moment to open her mouth. The witness next introduces a set of emails and messages that indicate calculated manipulation of emotional loyalties throughout the family. References to favoring certain members, controlling narratives, and instructing silence all point toward a level of emotional orchestration that shocks even the most seasoned observers in the room. Kody's hands clench into fists. Robyn bites her lip, struggling to maintain composure. Deepsbuck struggling to maintain composure. Meri's breath quickened. The past she thought she understood now feels like a labyrinth of deception. Christine's eyes glint with both anger and vindication. Janelle leans forward precariously, taking in the news, planning next steps. The emotional stakes are greater than ever before. These secrets penetrate deeper than cash, hitting at the very heart of the Brown family themselves. The courtroom turns to showdowns. Christine rises, voice firm and unyielding. This isn't about money. This is about deceit, manipulation, and betrayal. You've manipulated narratives, manipulated events, and concealed truths from all. Your wives, your family, and the world. Kody swallows hard, lips clamped tightly together. Robyn's voice ultimately shatters the silence. I trusted you, Kody. I gave all, believing in the family we promised one another. And now I don't know who to trust. Meri gets up slowly, her face cold. All these years we've covered for each other, defended the family you presided over. And now, everything seems like it was an act, a game. How do we get through this? Her sentences reverberate in the room, striking every audience member with the ugly force of betrayal. Kody fidgets, attempting to stay composed, but there is a tangible feeling of tension. Christine advances, voice keener. Intent counts not when the actions are so calculated. The proof is here. The deceptions are here. And you will have to answer for all of them. The courtroom bristled, each word uttered, each exchanged glance, a test of trust, loyalty, and control. The witness releases another bombshell, one that promises to shatter alliances further. They present papers indicating clandestine communications between Kody and some outside consultant, detailing strategies that affected family members on a personal, emotional, and financial level. The courtroom gasps in unison. Kody's face contorts. Sweat forms at his temple. Robyn covers her chest, fighting to keep the surge of feelings in check. Meri's hands tremble slightly, while Christine's jaw sets, the glimmer of satisfaction in seeing her suspicions confirmed only tempered by the gravity of the fallout. Janelle leans back slightly, absorbing every detail with cold calculation. The emotional intensity escalates as cross-examinations begin. Kody's denials are precise but strained. Every answer is dissected, every hesitation magnified. Robyn's eyes fill with tears, but she fights to keep them from falling. Meri's face is pale, jaw tight, as memories of years of trust clash violently with the unfolding evidence. Christine sits rigidly, prepared to exploit any inconsistency, while Janelle watches, patient and vigilant, sensing that the emotional cracks are widening. Secrets, lies, and betrayals meet in court,
Every beat is laced with tension. Every look is a test. The witness escalates further, revealing moments of emotional manipulation, situations where Kody allegedly leveraged personal information to influence decisions, sway alliances, and maintain control over the family dynamic. Robyn's voice shakes as she whispers, almost to herself, "How could he do this to us?" Meri's eyes narrow, heart racing with anger and disbelief. Christine's lips curl in a grim line, while Janelle's calm exterior hides the calculations running through her mind about future moves. Kody finally breaks his silence, voice tense, trying to justify. "I thought I was safeguarding everyone. I thought I was doing the right thing." The words sound empty in the courtroom though. Robyn's head shakes, silent streams of tears leaking down her face. Meri's gaze is piercing, unflinching as if witnessing the man she once trusted in a whole new light. Christine's is unflinching, nearly accusatory.
Janelle sits, crossed arms, expression hidden but watchful, balancing the betrayal against the truth. The session draws to a close, the emotional burden almost too much to bear. Each new revelation has stripped away layers of trust, laying bare exposed wounds. The family leaves the stand, but the tension remains, heavy as smoke. Kody takes a deep breath, knowing the next session will require greater emotional strength, confrontations that could redefine the family for eternity. The witness teases that tomorrow, years-long personal secrets, secret whispers, closet betrayals, and emotional games will be exposed. Loyalties will be strained, hearts shattered, and the family will never be the same again. Who will weather the emotional storm, and who will be left in pieces? The courtroom is claustrophobic today, as if the air itself is electric with tension and foreboding. Kody Brown comes in first, shoulders square but tension apparent in the lines of his face. Robyn brings a folder of papers, clutching them tightly, her hands shaking just a little. Meri comes in wordlessly, face intentionally serious, though the hard line of her lips and flashes in her eyes reveal the tempest raging inside. Christine enters with confidence to her seat, eyes snapping about the room with calculated passion. Janelle lags behind, steady and composed, but each step is calculated, controlled, prepared for whatever comes. The judge enters the courtroom and calls the hearing to order, and the room falls into strained quiet. Past hearings have dispelled illusions. Today holds secrets that can destroy not just reputations but family relationships. The first witness is summoned, a former aide with intimate acquaintance with the family's private life, business affairs, and clandestine discussions. Their tone is calm, nearly frigid, but each sentence carries gravity. "What I am about to tell involves personal discussions, private choices, and secret realities that the family never meant to see the light of day. Fasten your seatbelt. The revelations today surpass funds and machinations, reaching into the heart of trust and loyalty in the Brown family." The witness starts, describing clandestine meetings and talks wherein Kody is said to have manipulated relationships and withheld important information. Robyn's fists tighten in her lap, knuckles white. Meri leans back a little, breathing shallowly, attempting to steel herself. Christine's eyes narrow, satisfaction glinting in her eyes as suspicions are vindicated. Janelle leans forward, watching closely every nuanced response, taking the measure of these disclosures on the courtroom and the family. Records are shown, screenshots, direct messages, and notes that expose talks between Kody and external consultants regarding managing the family's narrative. Each page is a knife to the heart of the family's trust. Kody fidgets in his chair, hands clutching the edge of the table. Robyn swallows hard, attempting to compose herself. Meri clamps her jaw shut. Christine's lips compress into a thin line, observing every gesture, every jerk. Janelle's eyes flash with strategic calculation, drinking in the information like a hawk eyeing its prey. Each discovery intensifies the rift within the family. Emotional scars are revealed, and trust hangs by a thread. The first fight breaks out. Christine stands, voice cold and authoritative, speaking directly to Kody. "This is no longer about numbers. This is about lies, emotional manipulation, and intentional betrayal. You've concealed truths, dictated narratives, and deceived those who were most invested in you." Kody swallows, trying to speak, but he is unable. Robyn's voice breaks as she utters her words for the first time, her pain raw and real. "I trusted you. I believed in this family, and now I don't even recognize it." Meri gets up slowly, her voice cold and measured. You've stolen what we'd made, what we'd trusted, and perverted it for your own tyranny. How do we heal from that? Her statement lingers in the room, solid as a boulder. Kody looks at her, pleading, but the air is thick with tension, the air almost too dense to breathe. Christine approaches, her voice slicing through the tense silence. Intentions are nothing when actions kill the people you say you love. We deserve the truth, Kody, even if it hurts. The atmosphere in the courtroom is stifling. Every look, every sentence, every silence could send the family over the edge. The witness then introduces explosive evidence, private emails and recordings, revealing instances of Kody influencing alliances within the family, creating division between the wives, and attempting to control the family's internal dynamics for personal gain. Robyn's eyes widen, tears glinting as the depth of the manipulation hits her. Meri's face hardens, her breathing slow and deliberate, as anger and shock intertwine. Christine's lips curl into a faint, grim smile of satisfaction and disbelief. Janelle stays calm, but watchful, weighing the consequences with each moment. Kody is summoned to the witness stand. His face is pale and taut, jaw clenched, voice shaking slightly as he testifies. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. Every choice was, I thought I was making the best choice for the family. Robyn is shaking her head, tears streaming silently down her face. Meri's gaze is sharp, unblinking, as if she's seeing the man she trusted for years in a completely new light. Christine's stare is unwavering, piercing, almost accusatory. Janelle leans back slightly, observing, calculating, the wheels turning in her mind about how the revelations will alter the family's dynamics forever. The family's trust is collapsing in real time. Each secret revealed is another blow to relationships that may never recover. The prosecution intensifies, questioning Kody about his decisions and the implications for the family. Each denial is met with contradictory evidence. Emails, messages, and testimonies pile up, revealing patterns of secrecy and manipulation. Robyn leans forward, shaking slightly, her emotions raw. Meri's hands tremble slightly in her lap as the storm of betrayal crashes over her. Christine sits stiffly, the satisfaction in observing Kody squirm, offset by seriousness of the disclosures. Janelle composes herself externally, but her thoughts are racing, interpreting each word, each look, each fleeting change in Kody's mien. The witness further ratchets up the theatrics, laying out instances of emotional manipulation, wherein Kody purportedly used intimate secrets to ensure control over decisions, friendships, and impressions. Robyn whispers softly, almost to herself, how could he do this to us? Meri's eyes flare with anger, her mind reeling. Christine's lips press into a firm line, her composure intact, but her satisfaction evident. Janelle watches closely, noting the impact on each family member, calculating what the next moves might be. The tension reaches a crescendo when the witness reveals that some financial and personal decisions directly coincided with moments of family crisis, times when the wives were most vulnerable. The courtroom reacts audibly. Kody's hands tighten on the edge of the table. Robyn's shoulders shake, holding back sobs. Meri's lips press tightly, heart racing. Christine leans forward slightly, satisfaction and anger mingling in her gaze. Janelle remains calm, but alert, processing every word. The session ends with a tearful confrontation that makes the room go quiet. Robyn finally directly confronts Kody, tears streaming, voice shaking. We gave you our hearts, our lives, and you used what we trusted you with. How do we ever even move on? Meri approaches him, voice low but firm. The lies stop here. We are owed the truth, all of it. Kody lets out a slow breath, understanding that the pressure of the family's expectations, the court's attention, and his own doing has finally tipped the scales. The witness foreshadows that tomorrow will be even more shocking betrayals, secretly made alliances, personal sacrifices used to their advantage, and long-concealed secrets about the family's most intimate moments. The Browns are in for a storm that will separate them forever. Who will make it through the aftermath, and who will be left shattered? The courthouse is charged, practically buzzing with anticipation. Kody Brown strides in first, shoulders tense, jaw set, eyes clouded with fatigue and fear. Robyn brings up the rear, holding a folder against her body, her fingers shaking very slightly. Meri slips in quietly, her eyes pointed, but her expression inscrutable. as if she's preparing for a tempest she's been expecting for a long time. Christine walks purposefully to her seat, her eyes scanning the room, taking in every last detail with careful intention. Janelle walks quietly, still calm outwardly, though the fire in her eyes gives away the turbulence in her mind. The judge slams the gavel, and the session is called to order. Today, more than ever, the stakes are high. Past revelation, $38 million in secret funds, emotional manipulation and betrayals, have left the Brown family reeling. Today will unveil not only the facts, but the repercussions that have been building quietly in the shadows. The first witness is an ex-financial advisor and trusted family friend, whose insight goes deep. His voice is steady, near clinical, but each word is loaded. What you are about to hear is the most personal actions and choices that forged not just the family's wealth, but its very dynamics. Some were made to safeguard, some to dominate. Hold on to your seat. Secrets unveiled today will stun even the most devoted Sister Wives viewers. The witness shares documents and communications that prove further financial manipulations and hidden transactions. This time, the evidence points to outside advisors, shell companies, and even a few members of the family who secretly worked with Kody to retain control over finances and decisions. Robyn's lips part slightly in shock. Meri's hands tremble subtly. Christine's eyes flash with vindication, and Janelle's calm demeanor masks her internal calculation. Kody shifts uneasily in his chair, realizing the scale of exposure is larger than he anticipated. The courtroom is hushed. Gasps spread through the crowd. Each word, each piece of paper, each disclosure hits like a bolt of lightning. Kody's jaw clenches. Robyn's hand shakes around her notes. Meri leans forward minutely, lips set in tense lines, and Christine's gaze never wavers from Kody. Janelle, always cool, takes in the information with keen accuracy. These discoveries are more than mere statistics. They're deceptions that sting, and the Brown family is about to learn the price. The first fight erupts. Christine rises, voice unshaken and firm. This is no longer about money. This is about trust, manipulation, and control. You have lied to the people who trusted you most, Kody. Kody opens his lips to reply, but Robyn's voice interjects, shaking but authoritative. I gave you everything. My trust, my love, my loyalty, and you used it to keep secrets from us. How do we even start to heal? Meri gets up slowly, her face cold and calculated. We lived for years under your command, trusting your choices to discover they were manipulated. Every vow, every design, was passed through secrecy. How can we ever trust again? Kody swallows, voice trembling. Christine leans in, her tone biting. Intents don't count when your actions tear apart lives. The proof is before you. The reality is undeniable. Now you have to answer. The tension in the court is almost unbearable. Every word, every look, every hesitation is a challenge to loyalty and family ties. The witness escalates the drama further, producing private communications revealing moments when Kody allegedly attempted to pit wives against each other, subtly influencing decisions, and leveraging personal vulnerabilities to maintain control. Robyn's hands tremble as she wipes tears from her face. Meri's eyes flare with anger and disbelief. Christine's lips press into a thin line, satisfaction mixed with outrage. And Janelle observes silently, analyzing every nuance of the unfolding chaos. Kody is summoned to the stand. His skin is pale, voice strained. I never meant to hurt anyone. Everything I did was intended to take care of the family, to keep things stable. Robyn slowly shakes her head, her voice cracking as she whimpers. Take care, by lying, manipulating, and keeping everything a secret. Meri's eyes darken, seething silent. Christine's gaze holds him unflinching. Janelle is tranquil but vigilant, drinking it all in, anticipating what's to come. The courtroom is charged with emotion as the witness presents the final pieces of evidence: secret agreement, hidden financial movements, and messages revealing the orchestration of alliances. The atmosphere is thick, heavy with tension. Kody's hands tighten on the edge of the table, his eyes flicking between each wife. Robyn buries her face in her hands. Meri's jaw sets, a mixture of anger and heartbreak etched across her face. Christine leans forward, intensity blazing in her eyes. Janelle sits frozen, drinking in every response, every detail. The emotional tension has never been greater. Each secret spilled,
each deception revealed, risking complete shattering of the family. The climax begins. Robyn stands, voice firm but shaking, tears flowing. I trusted you with my life, with this family, and you betrayed us. How can we ever recover from this? Meri steps forward, voice keen and biting. The deceptions end here. We demand the truth. All of it. Christine also speaks, voice unyielding. No more excuses, no more plans. We call for accountability. Janelle, steady and composed, speaks last. And we will determine collectively what next happens, what stays, what goes, and who we trust from this point forward. Kody breathes slowly, aware that the emotional and fiscal tempest has peaked. All those secrets revealed, all the betrayals revealed, have left the family exposed and broken. Robyn, Meri, Christine, and Janelle look at each other, some with pain, some with determination, some with satisfaction. The burden of months of lies is palpable in the air, weighing down on them. As the hearing comes to an end, the judge gives a stern reminder. The repercussions of these disclosures go beyond the courtroom. They are personal, emotional, and public. The Browns will have to deal not only with the legal fallout, but the tenuous nature of their family bonds, the media focus, and the trust that has been irrevocably broken. The aftermath isn't done. The world waits, allegiances change, and the Browns are left to clean up the pieces of a family forever torn apart. As the family leaves the courtroom, all are quiet, their minds elsewhere. Kody looks at his wives, aware of the scope of what has been uncovered, and the effort to rebuild trust. Who will be standing with him? Who will be leaving? And what secrets are still hidden, waiting for the next tempest to unearth them?